Hello and welcome in, I'm Gladiator from Gladiator Gaming, and today we are going to try to be doing something slightly different. I'm going to give you an opinion on how this medium I just started using today turned out for me. It is the dip pen, as you probably saw with the title of the screen that I haven't even named yet before this video. Yeah, I'm be using a dip pen in this video. As right now I'm just using the line work. I'm using a H2 pencil, if you're curious about what kind of weight I was using. But that's not the point. I'm going to be discussing about the dip pen. Later on in this video, we'll see the progress of the dip pen. It'll be a little bit slower speed, so you'll get an understanding and a little bit of visual novelty. Or not really a novelty, but more of just a visual cue on what you expect when you're doing a dip pen drawing. So let's get into it. The dip pen drawing, or a dip pen in general, can be very difficult to use if you're not used to it. I never drew with it before. It will show with my drawing and what happens in my drawing. Luckily, I do try to hide it. Thank you, white gouache paint. So it looks more like a smudge now. But regardless, the dip pen, if you're not used to it, is very difficult. Granted, I don't like the ink I used. I wish I used a different ink. So that's my excuse. It's not that good. That's my pen. No, but it is me. I am a rookie at it, and it will show. But let's just go on with it. The dip pen overall is a great medium if you're used to it. I like the dip pen personally, even though I messed up like 10,000 times. But if I sat down and try to get good with it, I can be very, very creative with this dip pen because on how the line work can work, if that makes any sense, on how the way of the dip pen works in general. Now granted, if you're using a dip pen, be very aware on how it goes, because you can smudge the picture with the certain type of ink that you're using. The ink that I used was Black India ink. It's not a bad ink per se, because if you erase over it, it doesn't smudge. But if you use something that I like using a lot, which is Copic markers, it smudges. Do not use alcohol-based markers with Black India ink. But overall, it's still something that was really cheap to use and to get fairly, like, something that you wouldn't expect. It's really inexpensive to get this product. It only cost me like $10, $11 to get it. You can already tell in the drawing I'm saying crap, I'm smudging the picture, I'm not used to this medium. If the video actually had audio of me talking besides right now, I would not be very happy. I wasn't happy at all. And also, if you're drawing very long links with this medium that you're not used to, it's gonna look like garbage. But other than that, I do hide it. I do try to fix it. I was even thinking about going to GIMP or Photoshop, or I don't have Photoshop, so GIMP because it's free, and going back and touching up and giving it a background. I chose not to give this picture a background, which you will find out later on in the video, just because I was using a different medium besides the dip pen. I was using my Prismacolor colored pencils. Dang, I can't speak. I was using some Prismacolor color pencils, and I haven't used those back in about maybe 2 years. Maybe not really 2 years, but a little bit closer to when I first started doing drawings on YouTube, which is a while back. But yeah, like, besides the other mixed medias that I used, I try to do a few other different things in this drawing. I try to use something that was not really meant for color pencils, but I could not smudge with my finger, which you can usually do with a pencil, or regular pencil I should say, not color pencil. You can't smudge with your finger with a colored pencil. I found that out, so I use some blending, what's these things called? I just dropped all of them. Tortillas. That's not how it's pronounced, by the way. I did that on purpose, because I don't know how to say it. And I'm not, well, I am joking. But anyways, that's besides the point. Let's get back to the inking of the drawing. Once you get to a really confident way on how you're drawing and you're starting to get a groove, these lines can work for you. It can be so delightful to see certain things work with a dip pen. I mean, granted, it is repetitive, if I can speak correctly, to get the dip pen dipped all so often. Maybe a fountain pen will be different. I know a fountain pen will be different. You don't have to dip, and I'll have a nib similar to what I have, but you won't be able to change it out so quickly, because all you have to do with the dip pen is, well, the thing that I'm holding is just a holder. The nib actually goes inside of it, and I got like 4 of them. I actually got a set, including the ink, for like, I think I already said, $10, $11 at Walmart. This is Walmart stuff. You can get it anywhere in America, and almost anywhere in the world. Almost. Unless you live in a third developed country, then I'm apologized, and I'm very surprised you have internet. No offense. Please don't be offended. I am sorry if I offended you. That was just meant to be a joke. But besides that, yeah, for the price and the quality of it, I'm very surprised. I'm very happy with what I got compared to my Copic multi-liners, which was pretty darn expensive. Well, really, I mean, it was, but it wasn't. It was expensive in my, per se, I should say. I forget how much they were. But overall, this is my, if I was going to recommend someone that's cheap that you would like to get into, I mean, I wouldn't say start with a dip pen. I'd say start with something like a multi-liner, Prismacolor multi-liner, or I got another set of pens. It was, I forget what it was called, but it was even cheaper. But it was like a cartridge type of pen where you can just go, go, go. You don't have to dip. You don't have to worry about the nib catching on anything, because that's the bad thing about these nibs. They can get caught on certain types of paper. It's not fun. It's not fun whatsoever, especially for the drawer, I mean the artist, or the viewer, because you can see all the mistakes that I do. But it makes it human, I guess, too. So I guess you, if you want to try it, I say go for it. I don't have any doubts that you would destroy, or, well, granted, it depends on your art skills too, so I take that back. Everyone's great. So go out, buy it. Like I said, it's 12 bucks. 12 bucks for a really cool utensil that you can get at Walmart. Granted, if I can choose, I'll try to get some better ink and some better nibs. The holder's just fine. The holder's perfect. I don't mind the holder. It's just wood that the nib's go into. But besides that, it wasn't hard to really get used to it. It just takes time, takes effort, and you'll eventually get to where you want to be. So I've been rambling on long enough. So I hope you all enjoyed the rest of the video. Oh yeah, before I do leave, and for y'all to just to understand why I choose the Dark Magician, it was a request from someone else that wanted me to draw the character. They liked the character, so I drew it. I do take requests on YouTube, so if you want to see another, like, if you want to comment and you want to get a video on my channel, or not really a video, if you want me to draw a character that you want me to draw and I'll make it a video, please comment below. I listen to my comments most of the time. But either way, I'm going to kick this thing back into speed, get it through time lapse, let you see the rest of the video, and probably some more different types of music. This thing's about to run out, and I probably looped it already 1 or 2 times. You probably already noticed. Or you haven't. If you haven't, that's fantastic. I did my job. So thanks a lot for watching. Take it easy. And I shall see all of you, if I can speak correct English, in the next drawing video.